2. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Sports Clash. I'm Rich Arleo with Chris Carey. Chris, how you doing?
Good, man. How you been?
Good, doing well. Had a nice little weekend. We both got to enjoy a little wedding, got to hang out. It
Yeah,
was
long time no
nice.
see.
Yeah. It's a weekly occurrence now, which is nice. Let's keep that up maybe if we can. But
We'll run
other
out of
than
content.
yeah, that's the problem. Uh, a lot of driving, as always, just driving constantly. This weekend, I have no plans, so I'm very
Let's
excited about that.
go. It's one of the
So,
best things when you get like far into adulting and you're like, I
yeah,
always have plans. There's always something to do, especially house, kids, whatever. Nothing on the
it's
agenda. I'm jealous.
it's nice. It's gonna be. I'm sure all of a sudden I'll have 50 things to do by Wednesday. Jamie will have a whole schedule out, but that's okay. But always find a time to watch some sports, following along with the big news. And while it's a slow time right now, only baseball is one of the four major sports in season. Still news coming up, and I think one of the bigger or more interesting pieces of news that came out this week was that the New York Jets will officially be on Hard Knocks. They have not been on Hard Knocks since the Rex Ryan "Let's go eat a goddamn snack."
Let's make sure we play like the New York Jets and not some slack team. That's what I want to see tomorrow. Do we understand what the I want to see tomorrow? Let's go to eat a damn snack.
That team went to the AFC Championship game, so good sign. Very excited about that.
Okay.
I'm still with the Jets and Rodgers and their offseason. It's been good. We had other big news come out. Quinn Williams signing 4 more years. He got paid, and he 100% deserves it. When he got hurt last year, the defense just kind of took a nosedive, and with how bad the offense was, without him making an impact on the line, they just couldn't hold up. So, I mean, he's such an important piece to the team. Getting him locked up was huge. So now you can go, just stay healthy, just avoid injuries, stay as healthy as you possibly can, and let's go enjoy this. And I think it's going to be a fun watch. Hard Knocks, the storylines. I think the Jets wanted to avoid the lockout storyline with Quinn Williams. So, not lockout, a holdout storyline with Quinn Williams. So I think
For
they kind of
sure.
got that out of the way. So the focus is obviously going to be on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, a team that with Rodgers, people are saying they could win it all. As a Jets fan, I find it hard to believe, but I'm very excited to watch real NFL football, which I can't always say as a Jets
Right. Yeah. I mean, I hear you on that. I mean, my team sneaks into the playoffs at 7-9, so
fan.
that's about all I got there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited to see him on Hard Knocks too. I might actually pay for HBO because I'm not watching for Aaron Rodgers. I'm watching for Zach Wilson. I want to see what's up with that dude on this show. He's going to be the most interesting evil villain I think they've ever had, and I hope he's just like surprises everybody and ends up being a decent dude. I'm sure he is a decent dude. He's probably got quality values, his Mormonism and stuff like that, but who knows? He's just a guy everybody loves to hate right now. And I think it'll be fun to see a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who didn't give Jordan Love the time of day,
Wow.
see how he deals with Zach Wilson, which will be
Yeah.
fun. So, but Quinn Williams well deserved to get paid. I was surprised it was only 4 years, 96, I think it was.
Yeah.
Not only, I guess, he's like up there with annual value with Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
My good friend at the wedding was telling me, but I was surprised at the number there. And I guess a lot of it's guaranteed, so that's excellent. You're right. When he went out, that line fell. And their defense was what was carrying them. I mean, you guys had second and third string quarterbacks in there, and we're winning a lot of ball games because of the peripheral players, the skill players, I guess I should call them, as well as the defensive players.
Mhm.
So, when he went out, though, it was a whole different team, and it was tough to keep the passer upright. So we'll see. It's the Jets still, so it's
That's the
still
thing.
the Jets, and it's still the Jets. So we'll see how they do, but it'll be a fun little drama sesh to watch them and how they prepare. And I respect the heck out of Saleh as well. I think he's a
Yeah.
great coach, and he'll be a good character storyline to follow.
Yeah, I think so. With um with last year with the Lions, it was a fun watch. Dan Campbell, but Dan Campbell just carried that
Right. He was the
whole
whole thing.
story, and it was good. But I don't know. I've been finding myself the last few years like just kind of my interest wanes after like episode 1 or 2 with Hard Knocks. I don't know if it's been the teams. I don't know if it's just been me. Like I'm always pumped for episode 1 of Hard Knocks. Like football's back. Like
Yeah.
we're back. Let's go. And you hear Leaf Schreiber, the voice of God, as they call him, and it just gets you amped up.
That's
But
Gary Thorne. Sorry.
oh,
I had
Gary
to put that
Thorne.
out there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, Leaf Schreiber, the voice of Hard Knocks, he's incredible. And I mean, it's just the vibes, the music. It's always fun. But
Better than the Hall of Fame game to get you pumped.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Hall of Fame game is another thing where it's like, oh, Hall of Fame game, football's on, then you turn it on,
Everybody's out after 10 plays.
you watch a play, and then you're like, okay, well.
You remember that? You remember that year the field wasn't up to par too, and everybody was like bitching about the Hall of Fame game. It's like, dude, it sucks anyway. Like,
Yeah.
let's just like move on.
Nobody important is really playing in that game anyway. So
Right.
But I'll turn it on and I'll watch. But with Hard Knocks, I mean, there's like you said, there's a bunch of storylines. Rodgers is going to be the focus. Wilson, I don't know what they're going to do with that guy. I mean,
I wonder if he'll even get any screen time. He'll probably just be pounded in the corner.
He
all
might.
the time.
Yeah, I mean, they'll address it because I mean, first round pick was the guy supposed to be. Last year just was a nightmare. He didn't play well. He hurt himself in the media. Seemed like the locker room didn't really care for him. He said some things. So he kind of just, shot himself in the foot. Not like Plaxico Burress. Like
maybe like 3 times.
Like metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Yeah, not actually. But and also at the end of the season last year, like whoever they bring in, I'm gonna make their life a living hell. Like that's Aaron Rodgers is here. Like, are you making his life a living hell? Are you, Zach?
I remember hearing stories of Aaron Rodgers in training camp with the Packers, and with like rookies, he would just like they would do something and he'd like stare him down across the field, and they'd be like, and then he'd just start laughing and walk away. Like Aaron Rodgers is going to be like must see TV, I feel like, and I can't wait to hear him talk about psychedelics or something as well too.
Oh, there's going to be a whole segment on him and psychedelics because he's just gonna take the platform and just push it on everybody like he likes to do. So he'll turn the football conversations into pro psychedelic conversations.
Getting back to the football of it though, give me all the Garrett Wilson. Watch how that guy prepares. If they give him anything on Hard Knocks, watching him on the Buckeyes with Olave and Smith and Jigba, that wide receiver crew, Garrett Wilson is the hardest working guy in any room he walks into. So I'm excited to see him, and give me all the Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, and you got Breece Hall returning from ACL.
From injury.
That was another turning point in the Jets season last year. He's unbelievable. But you also have there's some running backs out there. I mean, maybe we have some drama in the middle of Hard Knocks. Maybe they sign a Zeke or
just walks in half shirt. What's up, guys?
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's still out there, right?
Yeah,
and, I mean, these guys are just kind of sitting, waiting.
Playoff Lenny as well.
That's right. Yeah,
some solid RBs on the free agency right now, and I'm hoping my team gets one of them. And maybe the Jets will be one to sign. There's been a lot of like publicity of like Jets players saying like, "There's plenty of room for Dalvin Cook. There's plenty of room. Bring him into the locker room. That's great." I feel bad for Breece Hall and like the guys that they have in the backfield, because it's just a name and it's just a media storm. Like these people who are saying this stuff, they don't know the money of it. They don't know the dynamics of it. They don't know anything about it. But I feel like there's been a lot of publicity about the free agent running backs, and specifically Dalvin Cook and the Jets too.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. I think one darling could be this running back. They drafted Israel Abanikanda out of Pitt. He was their 5th round pick. He's apparently has that speed that I don't know much about his personality. Maybe he's not great with the cameras, but he can be an interesting character to watch.
Can you say his name again for me?
I believe it's Israel Abanikanda.
Okay,
Hope
cool.
I'm getting that right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to make you say it twice in
Yeah.
case you weren't.
Thank
But
you.
I don't know anything about him. But the Pitt program is a run-heavy program. They've had running backs come out. Well, actually, aside from having when they had Kenny Pickett, but solid pro-style offenses from Pitt. So we'll see. But that's a loaded room. It's a loaded offense.
There's a
It's
lot
just
of
it's the offensive line. It all comes down to the trenches for the team. We've talked about the defensive line. On the flip side, it's keeping Aaron Rodgers healthy,
That's
keeping
the most
his,
important.
fingers and toes and arms and legs all intact or whatever, because he ain't getting any younger. And guys don't usually continue an upward trajectory when they get past 37, 38. Guys like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are freaks, but at some point it runs out. So
Right.
hopefully it's not the year that he's not getting paid that much this year. He gets stalled next year, right? But on this contract with the Jets.
Yeah, the line's going to be huge. They need health. I mean, the other big injury last year was Elijah Vera Tucker. He was their best lineman throughout the early part of the season, and then when he went down, a couple other guys went down. Veteran Dwayne Brown keeps getting hurt. Mekhi Becton hasn't really stayed healthy, so it's going to be a huge part. I mean,
It's a big man.
they have to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy, and they have to stay healthy in order to do that. So that's going to be really something to watch. If it works out, it could be a really fun season. If you get me to the Super Bowl, obviously, if we lose it, I will be crushed. But to go to a Super Bowl, that would be just, I don't even know. I don't even know what.
I don't think my body could take that for my team. I mean, the way that I watch the Super Bowl nowadays with gambling, with boxes, with, Super Bowl parties, with, it's such an intense event. If my team was in it, I wouldn't even know what to do with myself.
I probably wouldn't even place a wager. I might bet on the coin flip for fun and then
probably
just zone in.
Color of the Gatorade.
I probably will not be any fun to watch the Super Bowl with, or unless
but we'll see. We'll see if either of us have to worry about
the fact that I'm even talking about it is still silly to me.
Guy they brought in was the draft pick from Iowa. That's who I was talking about, by the way. He's like an edge rusher, linebacker.
Right.
15th pick. Will McDonald.
Will McDonald, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. But Saleh is
a surprising pick, but
but pick guys from Iowa State, Iowa, from Ohio State, from the Midwest to play defensive line. I mean, even the guys from the South actually too. But this guy, Iowa's defense was what carried them, Iowa State's defense is what carried them for a couple of years. So I think that they'll be pretty solid. But I give Saleh talent, and he'll coach them the right way when it comes to linebackers and defensive linemen. I mean, look at San Francisco.
Yes, it's a big season for Saleh. He's got the quarterback now. He's got to prove that his defensive mind, they have the talent on the defensive end. I think he's got to prove it. He has to prove that defense is legit. And with with Rodgers and his boy,
you guys took a center from Wisconsin too. Let's go.
Yeah. It was a okay draft. Will McDonald was a bit of a surprise, but I always like to hear you tout guys, even though you've touted a lot of busts for the Jets. Vernon Golston being one.
Who's the one quarterback?
D. Milner being another.
D. Milner. Oh yeah, this guy's great. Oh yeah, he's the man. And he was the man at Bama. He was. He was.
You're always good at gassing up the Jets picks if they pick somebody from.
I'm just placating you. Like. I'm just playing to my audience. This is how we.
You're the college football expert here when it comes to the two of us. Well, compared to me,
different realm nowadays. Yeah.
It is. But
it is. But
so
anyhow.
I'm excited. Jets on Hard Knocks. It's gonna be fun. I'll be tuned in.
Yeah, maybe I'll buy Max. That's not a paid portion. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, some of the running backs are still sitting out there. Maybe we see somebody sign, but we did have a big free agent signing over the weekend. DeAndre Hopkins. He's not going where people expected. He's going to the Tennessee Titans. It looks like Vrabel and the Titans are doubling down. They said, look, we are in a shit division. We still have a veteran quarterback who can play. You still have Derrick Henry. You still have a solid defense, even though last year it was suspect, but Vrabel and his team's been known for that. Bring in Hopkins and try to win the AFC South. It's you and the Jaguars, essentially. It's a winnable division.
Yeah, dude. This team, I love it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's because I love Mike Vrabel, but I absolutely love the Titans team. Bringing in Hopkins, and I don't think people realize how good Burks was their pick from last year, the other wide receiver that Tannehill is gonna be attempting to throw to, unless they turn to Will Levis or Malik Willis. But overall, you got Henry, you got two big, legit. I guess Hopkins isn't big, but his catch radius is big. But legit wide receivers on the outside, and you always just play just a pro style offense, just tight ends and just safe plays that Tannehill can make. I feel like a lot of times, and Henry sets the tone. So, but yeah, like you said, it's a winnable division, but I still lean kind of Jaguars this year. I don't know why. I feel like the Jaguars are just a freaking legit team, but who knows?
Even after the Hopkins signing, you're still leaning Jags.
Yeah, because Doug Peterson. It's not because of like Lawrence or Etienne or any of the other talent that they have. It's because Doug Peterson has won a Super Bowl before. And he knows what he's doing. And it
He does.
showed out last year. He took one of like a garbage franchise and really made them respectable in a lot of games. Thing that screws them is Jacksonville gets passed around the world as like the world's team. So I think they're playing in Germany and
Yeah,
London.
they're all over the place. They don't even play in Jacksonville.
It's ridiculous.
I don't think they have one home game this year.
Absolutely ridiculous, but we'll see. I think they at least won't play a Sunday, Thursday on those travel days, and I think those weeks are back to back, so they stay in Europe or something like that. But man, Jacksonville, you're just like, yeah, the world's team. But
well,
but yeah,
as of record right now, Sunday night, Jaguars are still the favorite to win the AFC South, according to DraftKings, minus 155. Titans are at plus 350, so that's kind of an intriguing bet right there, because that's a wide open division, and I don't know if they fully adjusted to the Hopkins news yet. So
at plus 350, I mean,
yeah,
I'd slap a Hamilton on it.
slap a hammy on it.
Hey, I meant to ask you, with the Jets on Hard Knocks, Aaron Rodgers, all going on, over under for the Jets, I believe is what was the win total? A 10.5?
Oh God, I think it's 10.5.
I think it's 10.5. What do you take?
I don't know. If it's 10.5, I'd probably take the over.
Same.
But I'm not betting on any positives to the Jets, because just if they're gonna do it for me, great, I'll be thrilled. If it's gonna be a disaster, I'm not gonna lose money all on top of it. And just
Okay.
they're
Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, they are minus 130 to make the playoffs. So
Really?
yeah,
That's a solid bet too.
is it? It's the Jets.
Yeah, there's two wild cards. I mean, they got this.
Do they?
No.
I'm just gonna keep asking rhetorical questions until I see the Jets actually do something positive. Have you watched Quarterback on Netflix yet? I have
No.
not. It's focusing on Mahomes. Let's say this. Let's watch it this week, and then next episode we'll give it a little review.
Fine.
And it's football. It's exciting.
Mahomes is every other commercial, and he's every other Super Bowl.
I've heard from some friend who watched it that Mahomes just comes across as a little phony in it. I don't know, but I'm interested in seeing it. A little phony.
You're a big fat phony. Hey, you know who lives in this house? A great big phony. That's right, a phony lives here.
Oh yeah.
So
I think he has to be a little bit phony. Everybody's trying to pick him apart because he's elite on top of the world. Like he's picking his brother apart, for his social media presence, and his wife for what she was doing in the stands, whatever. He's just he's got to be the guy that everybody wants to see because the spotlight is all over him now. And the moment he screws something up, that story's running very, very quickly without all the facts checked.
Yes.
So he's got to be that guy.
Yeah. So I don't know how long it is. I think it's one season, a couple episodes. Let's try it. Let's do some homework. Try to watch it, and we'll give it a review next episode. You down?
Word.
All right. Homework's
Sounds good.
Passed out. Well,
yeah. Thanks, Teach.
Yeah, anytime. So I want to shift gears away from football. and something that came out right after our last episode that I just wanted to touch on. The Yankees are adding an advertiser patch to their uniforms. Star Insurance is going to have a little blue patch on the sleeve. Uproar abounds. I don't really care.
That's the most Yankee fan stance ever when you do something
Is it?
so fucking corporate.
Have you seen the Yankee fans on Twitter right now?
No, I stay out of the Yankee Twitter
You're
sphere. I'm on
desecrating the
Threads, bro.
pinstripes. Oh yeah, you're on Threads. Yeah.
No,
No, you're definitely not. You're desecrating the pinstripes. Nobody cares about tradition and history anymore. They're only in it for the money.
What's next? The guy has a beard? Oh.
I mean, that might bother me a little bit. But this patch, look, it's a clean blue patch. It's not that they put patches, on the uniform before, usually for
Honor
in
somebody.
memoriam and honoring somebody. So this is just
not to get
patch.
paid for it.
Well, as not a Yankee fan, what are your thoughts?
Sellouts, absolute sellouts. Dude. I mean, seriously, the boss is rolling over in his grave.
Is he?
Yeah, the big man is like, yo.
I think he cares more about the results right now. That's what's making him roll over in his grave.
Well, for sure.
Patch.
For sure. But to be the first franchise that really, really does this in baseball, ooh, you can't even really have your last name on the jersey. Desecrate the pins. Oh, the tradition. Oh my God. The mystique of the Yankees. Oh, the aura. Oh, all gone, you commercial bastards.
They're not one of the first teams. There's like 15
an
teams
insurance
this year
company
that
too. That's the
logos.
cheesiest freaking thing ever. It's not even like it's like a cool or like a nonprofit or anything like. It's a freaking insurance company. Like, come on.
Your O's are gonna have it soon.
Everybody's going to have it soon, Rich. But the point is that you guys on your high mountain, your Yankee fan people, folks, whatever you want to call them, you guys are just like the rest of us. That's it. There's no mystique anymore. It's done. You guys are in third place, and you're selling ad space on your jerseys. What is that, man? What a fall from grace. That's something the Angels would do. That's something the Angels would do for real, man. You might be really trying to save up for Ohtani, though. That's what I'm going to say. Let's sell out to this insurance company, get a little extra coin, and go get Ohtani.
And that's all that matters to me. If you're going to make a splash,
Ohtani,
bring the money
baseball card, first edition
go.
with Star Insurance on it. Oh,
Great.
baby boy. I love it. But in all seriousness, I mean, the Lakers did it. Basketball did it. Soccer's been doing it for years.
It's just
whatever you could do to generate, streams of revenue in an unsalary capped, sport, whatever. They're doing what's best for the franchise by doing this, and they're generating more income. They're generating more to be able to put a better product on the field because players' contracts are not going down. It's not happening, but these sellouts. I hear real big fish in my head. Sell out.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the more annoying thing about this is that it allows clowns like yourself to just call the Yankees sellouts.
It's the best.
Dance,
it's the best.
Dance in the mystique and aura that no longer.
Hey,
look, I'm not even going to argue.
Kick you in the ankles.
I'm not even going to argue. The mystique and aura is not there right now.
It's
not
gone.
saying it's gone, but they always come back. The ghosts always return.
You know what pisses me off, by the way? You talk about mystique and aura. I've never been to Monument Park because it closes like 45 minutes before the game starts. And I'm never in the stadium that early.
Mm-hmm. It's not as nice as it was at the old stadium. It's kind of just down, like
I think that the Yankees of my childhood are buried on the grounds across the street. There we go. No longer the Yankees.
Yeah. I mean, what was the team that beat you guys in, was it 2012? With Raul Ibanez? Was that a team that had mystique or anything, or that was just us beating you?
Okay, you're grasping at straws here, man. Go get Star Insurance. Go get your life insurance.
I'm just saying, look, you guys, Orioles are great. They're in second place right now. You're on your high horse. I love it. I'm happy for you.
Oh, dude, we're not just in second place. We're on an 8-game winning streak. Did you see the hat, by the way? Yeah, 8-game winning streak. Just beat the Marlins again today. Kyle Bradish, your boy, crushing it.
He's one of my best fantasy pitchers right now.
All I want them to do is just sell a few of these outfielders and get Ohtani, and then be able to re-sign him magically somehow, and then then we're good. But we're rocking and rolling, and I'm so excited about it. I over the moon because after the All-Star break, usually when we face plant, like we've had years where we've been in first place, and we had some epic losing streak a few years back. It was epic. It was like 10 plus games that we lost. And now we've got an 8-game winning streak. And I heard on ESPN New York, the hottest team in baseball, the Baltimore Orioles, beat the Miami Marlins. It was great. It was awesome.
They are. They're on fire. I'm very happy for you. I'm ready for them to announce when they have a patch on their sleeves and it's Natty Bo.
Oh, yeah, that would be really funny. I would like that or Santander Bank.
I mean, if they don't trade Santander,
I think
it'd be a little awkward if they traded him.
He homered tonight, though. He's like, you can tell he's the leader in the dugout. And I've been saying, you get rid of this guy.
That
He's a
offer
Rule
stands.
5 pick. He was, but he just keeps proving me wrong. He keeps proving me wrong.
Yeah.
And he's just a total bro. And I'm totally into Anthony Santander now. But there's one guy we got to get rid of. It's got to be him. And I don't want to say it. It's got to be Hayes, because Hayes is playing above his pay grade. Always was a top prospect, but he's not from this regime. And I think he's expendable to him. And right now is the peak. But yeah, we need some pitching help.
You need a pitcher, and you got so many young infielders and a couple outfielders coming up. There's a lot of offensive talent coming up. A couple pitchers too, but there's you got to make a move to kind of make some room. And
I'm wondering, though, because Means comes back at some point. Grayson Rodriguez is lighting up the minors. Who knows if he's going to be good or if he's going to be the double-digit strikeout guy that he is at AAA again, if he figured it out finally. I don't know, because Wells isn't all of a sudden amazing. Bradish, your boy, is insane.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we've got good.
They've been great, but who's going to be the long reliever that goes to the bullpen? Because the pen needs some help. Cano was playing out of his mind. Bautista, I think he said, likes to give up the long ball every once in a while. He's been dominant, but outside of that, Cianel Perez, not the same as he was last year. He's coming back a little bit. Bauman's been Coulomb, he's been on fire, but I don't like his stuff. He doesn't overpower. So I think they need another arm. And I really think I just don't know how. I'm interested to see how Brandon Hyde does it, because he hasn't had to do anything for 5 years.
Yeah.
And he's doing a decent job at fitting all these pieces in right now, but we'll see if it lasts. Because a good manager, shout out to Buck, shout out to Joe Torre, guys like that who had talent in the locker room and could figure out the right spots, that's a whole different level. And hoping Hyde's there. He's a Joe Madden prodigy long time ago, but Joe Madden kind of fell off too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I don't think Mets fans are agreeing with you on Buck right now, but they did just have a walk-off.
The Mets, you know what? I can't do it again, but the Mets, they're just always the shitty.
You can do it again. This is our weekly bashing of the Mets. They did have a nice walk-off Sunday night, so good for them. But
good for them.
As bad as the Yankees have looked, I still look at the Mets record and I'm like, oh, it's not that bad yet.
Anybody out there who's never been to Citi Field, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of a dump in Queens. I hate the Mets. I'm sorry. Moving forward.
Great ballpark, but yeah, it is kind
of. Yeah, enjoy it, but outside, I'm gonna get stabbed, or take a flight from LaGuardia.
Yeah, it's not somewhere you want to hang out. That's for sure.
The record company's gonna give me lots of money, and everything's gonna be sell out with the Yankees. Yeah, sell out.
Anyway, no, it's just an itch. Anyway, so rounding out, the sports news of the last few days, kind of reaching the outer workings of the sports world here, but I want to talk a little golf and a little soccer. Quickly, golf. Rory wins the Scottish Open, which is cool. I didn't watch any of it. Kind of apropos, I would say. Didn't really watch any of it. But what was probably even cooler this weekend was Steph Curry hitting a hole-in-one at the celebrity tournament over the weekend. that hole in one was absolutely unbelievable, and he lost his mind, and people were kind of. It's so funny, like the guy Steph Curry hitting a hole in one in the tournament is huge news and such a cool video. But then you get the whole wet rags out there, and it's like, oh, what's he doing jumping on the green? He's got to act like you've been there, show some class, dude. The guy is a NBA star who is golfing, and he's fucking really good at it, and he just hit a hole in one, and you're gonna tell him to act like you've been there? I mean, I don't know if it's a prevailing thought, but I saw enough of that on Twitter. I was like, "Oh my god, you people really got to chill the
You
fuck out."
people, the
You
get off my
people,
lawn, literally, people,
oh
get
my
off my
god,
green.
the classy golf crowd here, all those fans, like, show some respect to the course. Get the
You know,
fuck out.
you
The
know
guy
what,
just hit a hole in one.
dude? It's so Steph Curry though. To just drain
It's-
stuff. He just. I bet you he sits in his car and his keys just go in the slot. He's just like money. Like it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
incredible. I'm actually watching it right now. I hadn't seen it,
yeah.
and it's pretty impressive because I've told you so many times. Like I can't. I think I'm gonna die before I hit a hole in one. So
Ah,
I'm like, oh, yeah, he goes nuts. Let's go, Steph.
he lost it.
So I don't like this because this is how I would react. So don't tell me to get off the green or
Yeah,
anything like that.
they
I
would
probably
react like that too.
yeah,
These assholes
exactly.
saying that are probably never hit a hole in one, and if they did, they went nuts. Either that or they just suck. Like they are just
I'd tell you
worse.
about it like every day for the rest of
Yeah.
our lives if
Yeah.
I hit it in front of you. You would
Oh
have
yeah.
seen it, and then I would have told you about it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So
That's a man's dream right there. I mean, especially if you belong to a golf course too, even better, because then you like, I did a hole in one, probably get a plaque on the wall or something, and that's like your life's crowning accomplishment right there. You talk about it every day for the rest of your life. If my dad gets a hole in one, I know he will never ever stop talking about it. I will get a call immediately. It'll be a
every
big
time I see him, he'll tell me about it. I mean, he tells me
yeah,
about all the courses he plays and everything like that. But
yeah,
but yeah, I would expect nothing less. Like if you
yeah.
hit a hole
I
in
mean,
one,
come
like
on.
to me, you're like you're kissed by something.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
reached down and slapped you
yeah.
on the ass while you were hitting that shot. Like
Yeah, right. But I
yeah,
mean, Steph Curry of all people. I mean, the guys. If the guy needs anything else to brag about, unbelievable. But fun to watch. He won the tournament with an eagle on 18, and it's just not fair that he's that good at golf and basketball.
but you know what? Still love him because the dude
Oh
was
yeah,
barely recruited out of high school. He's earned everything that he can
he's
get.
so
So
likable. You
eh, he
people
toes the
try.
line, man.
Yeah,
He really does.
yeah, not to me. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with the guy. I've always liked him. Draymond, on the other hand, I mean, I think Draymond's good at absorbing all of the hate for that team.
Maybe
And
that's what it
then,
is. He's the black hole of hate for that team.
yeah, yeah. And then him and Clay can just, live it up, chucking up threes and winning rings. I don't know, but good for him. That was a fun clip that came out of that, and he won the tournament. So,
Yeah. Poor Seth.
yeah. The other thing I want to talk about, Lionel Messi. Sunday they're announcing him in Miami.
Let's
He's being
go.
introduced. They packed the house there. The stadium only seats 19,000, and it's like Camp Nou at Barcelona is close to 100K packed every match. I hope it's not one of the it's obviously not one of the biggest arenas in the MLS, but there's got to be a part of Messi, playing in that small stadium after where he's played in the best football stadiums around the world, soccer arenas, whatever you want to say. The guys, you name it, the guys played there. And coming here, he's it's a smaller game. It just is, but he looks very happy. Beckham was there to greet him. They
Damn.
they overpacked the house. Like I think they had more people. They didn't have enough seats from what I saw some videos of people, climbing through security and looks like but they love him they love him down there, and it's really cool to see Lionel Messi in the USA.
Hmm.
And
I
I will be
never thought I'd
tuning
see
in.
that.
No, I will be tuning in when he makes his debut, and I'm gonna put my Red Bulls hat on, and I'm going. I wanna dive into the Red Bulls. I just think it's time. I don't know.
I'll rock my hat.
I say that now, and then who knows how.
I'm just happy to hear you say it's not NYCFC at Yankee Stadium and all that garbage. But
Yeah,
anyhow, yeah, no, it's
yeah.
cool to see Lionel Messi and like, dude, he's like the Beatles right now. Like he's
Well, he
like the
is.
biggest
Yeah,
athlete that's come over since Beckham, and
yeah,
Beckham's welcoming him. Whether it's $1 billion hug and handshake that they had, like,
yeah, yeah.
it's
At
it's
least.
incredible. So, I mean, it changes the landscape of American soccer. And
Yep.
Beckham was the first to do that because no Euro star ever thought, hey, maybe I'll go, out to pasture. Like, when horses, thoroughbreds, they 2, 3, 4 year olds, they eventually get put out to pasture or go to the lower level races. Like that's what the MLS was. And Beckham really brought a little bit more popularity. Franchises are expanding, the league's
Mhm.
expanding, tickets are selling, man, and
Yeah.
Messi's here, and as long as he's not like a prima donna and like doesn't show up for games or mentally, I mean, I'm sure he'll show up. He has to, but
Yeah, we hope so.
if he's not that good or whatever, totally fine. It is what it is. It's the biggest thing to happen to pro soccer since pro
In
soccer.
this
So,
in this country, yeah.
yep,
It's very exciting and
yep.
happy to see all that. So hope MLS doesn't disappoint too much. Hope he enjoys his time here. He'll enjoy his money, that's for sure. And he's gonna make a lot of it with sponsorships and his contract. Good for him. And
Yep.
I'm excited. I'll be tuned in for sure. Chris, what do you think? Another week, another rendition of the good, the bad, and the shitty.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm ready. I got my good, my bad, and my shitty, but I will kick it to you, Chris. Start us off.
You sure
Give
you
me
want to
your
do that? I might steal your good here.
you might steal my good. That's okay. Let's
Okay.
go. Let's go. Let's hear it.
All right, it was the Orioles, but I'll get off that train. You
Thank
guys
God.
all know they're the
Jesus
hottest team in the
Christ.
baseball,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
baseball, in the baseball,
All of the
in
baseball. Yes,
all
we
of the
know.
baseball.
We
It's
heard
the
about it.
Orioles and Otani. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
I never thought I'd say those two in the same sentence, but anyhow, my good is Garrett Cole, and he's been your good in the past, and I assume you probably weren't going to bring him back for this one, but you know what? Garbage franchise, but to have the statistical numbers that he's had within that franchise and the history that they've had there, I mean, he's earning every dollar that they spent on him. And I got on him for the spider tack and the sticky substances. It is Garrett Cole's love of the Yankees. I just, but I think it was like 20 something times he's had double digit strikeouts now
Yep.
for the Yankees. And you know what? He's still got a lot more time to go in that uniform. So that's more than anybody's done, I believe, in franchise history. And he's still in his prime.
Yeah.
So Garrett Cole is a very, very, very good player.
There's one man wearing a Yankee uniform right now who's earning his money, and Aaron Judge will when he comes back, but it's Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
And these assholes wasted a gem of a start today. They can't hit. Oh my god, I'm not going to get into it.
Can you imagine if he
I'm
had
not doing
Christian
it again.
Javier's run support?
Oh
I think
yeah,
Javier's the most like heavily run supported guy in the major leagues,
yeah.
and
He does not
maybe
have it.
yeah.
So I think the Yankees have won 15 of 21 starts. It should have been 16 of 21. He's a difference maker. He put all the spider tack bullshit behind him. He's a beast. He wants to win. He wants to go out there and compete.
That's it.
And you can't
It's
say
hard.
that. You can't say that about a lot of guys nowadays, especially in that
Yeah,
wearing Yankee uniforms right now.
exactly. They're all sellouts except for
Yeah.
Garrett
All
Cole.
right. Okay. Yeah.
Who's your good?
My good. I will not go to baseball, although I very much appreciate your good. But I want to point out Carlos Alcaraz, his first Wimbledon title, beat Novak Djokovic in 5 sets. It was almost a 5-hour final, and I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but we were at Dave and Buster's today with the
Let's
old guy
go.
running around, and my dad and I took a little time at the bar to
Of
watch.
course.
We watched the final 2 sets, and it was just that's tennis at its highest level, and it's not even that's higher than it's like it's just the shots that these guys are making. And Novak Djokovic has been the best in the world for quite some time. And this kid Alcaraz plays with a ton of emotion. He's fun, but he is just all over the court. Power from shots that like guys just shouldn't be able to do. Very impressive and very cool to see. You know, a newer name now, a young guy
Yeah.
coming in and kind of establishing himself. It's first Wimbledon title, but another Grand Slam for him. It's very impressive. He's very fun to watch.
For win Wimbledon over Djokovic, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's talent. And, tennis it is what it is. When it's on fire like that, and you have the names like the Sampras and the Agassi, like those types of
fun.
guys, like
It's
the
fun.
Nadal and the
Mhm.
the Federer and the Jokic, those are fun to watch. And I actually had a lot of Wimbledon on this past week, and
Mhm.
kind of got back into it. I played tennis when I was real young.
Yeah.
Was never really that good at it. My lateral movement is pretty slow, so I would definitely respect the power coming from here, coming from the backhand and stuff
The
like that.
backhands, yeah.
It's fun to watch, and especially when somebody's like, that
At
emotional guy
that
that
level.
translates through the television. Like I've never been to a live tennis match, but I have a lot of family members that have gone to a lot of U.S. Opens, and they're like, "There's nothing like tennis in person." But
Mhm.
when it translates over the TV, similar to golf, like you feel it, it's palpable.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that final was solid. You were even talking about it last night, and I was like, "Dude, it's tennis, whatever." But
Yeah, but I mean,
legit.
and I'm upset I didn't bet Alcaraz because I wanted to. I think he opened as a plus 190. Um, I mean, Djokovic, I don't think has lost the Wimbledon final. I don't know if it's like the guy doesn't lose, so it was a shock. And as good as Alcaraz was, it was still a bit of a surprise to a lot of people. But unbelievable talent. My bad. I will go back to baseball. Nick Castellanos,
Ooh,
his last 16 games, he's hitting 186, 22 strikeouts, and he had a one for the Sports Center not top 10. I don't know if you saw this, but he swung and missed at a pitch that bounced in front of the plate. It was a rough one. Like, I think it was, I might be wrong, but I think it was Josh Hader slider that bounced like solid foot in front of the plate, and he swung as it was bouncing. So he's always, he was tied to when Nick Castellanos hits a home run, something weird happens, something something bad happens. He's become a meme for that. So he's got to get hot, so some weird things can happen again. But right now, not playing well, and that swing and miss
I
was
love
funny.
Nick.
It's funny to
Yeah.
watch. I do too, and I he's had a good season, very good season actually, and I'm sure he'll rebound. But that swing alone was worthy of a bet, in my opinion.
Oh, that's like one of those highlights that you'll see, like we've watched highlights in like the 70s or 80s, like a long time ago. You're just like,
Mhm.
what? It's a blooper reel almost.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I love Castellanos, the Greek Nick. I love him, dude. He's so good. He was like 300 hitter for Detroit, but since he's gone to Philly, like he's hot and cold. He is ice and
yeah.
fire. It's
These are
it's
my
weird.
nephews,
Nick,
Nico,
Nick.
and Nick.
It's legit. Though. I went to Greece, dude. Everybody's named Nicholas.
Everybody's
Everyone's
Nicholas.
named
Yeah,
Nicholas. It's insane.
yeah. All
Awesome.
right.
Well, I'm gonna kick it to or take it over with my bad, and my bad is gonna be the New England Patriots. We talked about DeAndre Hopkins before, and going to the Titans. I think he made a smart decision for his situation because the New England Patriots are not the New England Patriots anymore. They even
They
got the
ain't.
opportunity to woo him second. The Titans brought him in first, and then he visited the Patriots. Ooh, oh, talk about mystique gone. Oh, talk about that. Oh, no, there's no Tom Brady here. I don't know. I don't know
Yikes.
about that. So, really surprised that he didn't sign with the Patriots because he was linked to them almost immediately.
Yeah.
But I do feel like a lot of wide receivers get that way since Randy Moss. But they put their chips on Devontae Parker, and we'll see how that goes. I would much rather have like I don't know. I don't know. I think DeAndre Hopkins made the right decision, but it just blows my mind that the Patriots, with all their Super Bowl trophies, their glitz, their, you know, Bob Kraft is the owner, Bill Belichick is the coach, still couldn't bring in, the top flight free agent because you're not the Patriots anymore.
You're
The
not.
mystique's gone. So
It's gone. It's gone.
Yep.
Devontae Parker's your big signing. And when I was in Massachusetts a couple weeks ago, we're listening to a little bit of sports radio out
Oh,
there.
how was that?
And oh man, and they were expecting to get Hopkins. That what they
Yeah,
were talking about there.
it
It was
sounded like it.
oh, the Parker move, it actually frees up space. It makes sense financially. Bill's a genius, knows what he's doing. Not quite. So swing and a miss.
Swing and a
I,
miss.
and I might rue this, but I probably will. But I can very much see the New England Patriots being a last place team this year, and I will soak up every minute of it. But I'll say that with a caveat: I can't talk until the Jets actually fucking beat them because they haven't in years now, and it's embarrassing, and it's got to stop. And I think Aaron's the guy to do it, but I guess I can't really talk until they do.
I believe it was big time Thomas Kirkpatrick from our fantasy league who told me Mac Jones was a special talent. And what I told him was that that Mac Jones completes passes within 10 yards. And he doesn't do much else. And that's the Alabama system. That's the Alabama quarterbacks. You see the wide receivers, Jameson Williams, Jalen Waddle, the dude in the Eagles, I can't think of his name right now. Those receivers were basically beards for the quarterbacks for a while. So Mac Jones, while I like him, smiles, does all the right things, looks great. He's the man,
He's a
big, tall
bum.
quarterback. He's never really done it at an elite level outside of a system that's Nick Saban. So we'll see. I think Mac Jones is done. I think he's done. Bring back Brian Hoyer.
Who is your shitty?
Art Moreno, the owner of the Angels. I think we've said it in the past, but Ohtani should have been moved a year ago. If you didn't know that this dude did not want to play there, if you didn't realize what you had and sent him away for whatever you could get, right now is not the time to stand up and say, we're not trading Ohtani. Because apparently, when that's been floated to the owner of the Angels, he said absolutely not, which is ridiculous. It's an overwhelming narrative that 30 out of 30 teams would love to have Ohtani, but who wants to pay for that rental now? So you eliminate a lot of the market. You eliminate a lot of opportunity that you had to rebuild a squad that you really just completely misfired on. With Rendon, the only guy that you got right was Trout. I mean, that's really it.
Yeah,
so
he's
outside of that,
away too. He's got to get out of there.
Honestly,
Bring him somewhere else.
Why isn't Art Moreno, and he's never done it. He's never sold off the team.
Never.
He's never sold the team for parts, essentially. He's never rebuilt. It was always like I can sign the next big guy, and it's just not working out. It's really not. And even if you sign Ohtani, you're not going to be able to sign anybody else. So at the end of the day, I think you kind of fucked yourself. I think you're in a corner, and you probably should have either traded him this offseason or at the deadline last season. But, is what it is. Then you get Trout upset. Then you get, the fan base upset. You get the international market. You lose that, revenue stream that's just bringing in jersey after jersey of Ohtani. But at least you stand a chance to retool your farm system, which is not ranked very highly, I don't believe. So
No,
yeah,
not at all.
Art Moreno, you suck.
Love it. Well, you had one owner. I have another, and you might not like this one, but my shitty is Dan Snyder. This sale is not final yet, and now the holdup here. The only person that pumps their fist at the news, the only person probably in the world.
I love Danny Ballgame.
I don't know how, but I mean, hey, these. So the emails that ended up getting John Gruden fired a couple of years ago, they're actually at the center of what's holding up the sale. It is evidently the complications relate to the willingness of Snyder and his family to indemnify the league and owners against liability related to the Gruden case. So he doesn't want to indemnify the league and the other owners. He's holding a grudge still, and Maybe
No,
he
he's
doesn't
probably
want to
holding.
sell. Maybe
He's
he
holding
doesn't.
his last ace. That's what he's doing. This is Daniel Snyder, is the guy with the snifter of bourbon in his corner office, who's looking out at the world like, yeah, I own this. I've got this by the, whatever. So he just doesn't want to sell off his last ace, and I don't blame him. I mean, he was forced out of the league, okay, as he should have been, because he's a man of poor character. But I love him because he spent money on my team. He is passionate about the team. He's just a shitbag. But at the end of the day, he's not going to go not kicking and screaming. He's not that type of guy. He's the kid you're
Yes,
dragging out of
you're
Chuck
right.
E. Cheese right now. Like, that's what's happening. So he's hanging on to that last, roll of tickets for his prize. But I really do think that, and I do hope that something comes out. The things that John Gruden said were horrible, obviously, but in private emails and an ESPN story with other people's agenda, whether it be Goodell, Snyder, um, Bruce Allen, the old GM, Jay Gruden, the old coach, whoever's agenda it was, John Gruden was hung out to dry. He was absolutely hung out to dry, and I hope something comes out that actually rectifies a little bit of his reputation, because I love John Gruden. I mean, I remember watching those quarterback things with him, and he's Spider Y2 banana. I'm like, dude, this
Yeah,
is
he
just
was
a
the man.
dude right
Yeah,
here.
he's a
But
football guy.
yeah, you can't say what you said. You can't do it. But in privacy, people say things, people do things, and you never expect it to be plastered all over ESPN. And if it's somebody else's, doing, and somebody else's agenda, and like I said, you're hung out to dry. I feel for the guy a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Dan Snyder's a shitbag, but I still love him
Well,
because
that's the thing.
he brought in Albert Hainsworth. He
Yeah,
brought in,
that
everybody.
worked out great.
That was the
There was
best.
so much winning there.
It was the best. Yeah.
I think you guys are better off without him, but hey, I mean,
Do I want the Sixers owner? Do I want the? Yeah, I love the Devils actually. Let's go, Joe
yeah,
Harris.
you got your devs. You ready
Can't
to
wait
roll?
for
Ready
AFC
to
NFC
roll.
wild card. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
forgot my
Believe it.
conference for a
Well,
second.
you need a quarterback, but yeah, sure.
Yo, Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett. Let's go.
Wow, I am pumped.
Jacoby Brissett goes to every winning franchise, I thought.
I mean, no, I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
Well, a good one as always. We crammed a lot into a little time. You got anything to close us out?
I do, yeah. Big ups to Shang Tao, the mayor of Oakland, doing some things after the fact, but exposing Rob Manfred and a lot of the media for saying that this was pretty much a done deal, that the A's, Oakland didn't want him. Like, Oakland clearly showed out and said, "We want you." And at the All-Star break, kind of cornered Manfred and said, "Here's the facts of the deal. We want to work with the city. We want to work with Major League Baseball for this." But really called him out and said, "Look, I'm standing up for my city. I'm standing up for my team. This is what actually happened." And kind of called him a liar. So she said, until, shovels in the dirt, I'm going to fight for this team. And I love it because it's a storied franchise. And if Major League Baseball really wants a franchise in Vegas, she's right. There's an opportunity to expand rather than to move a storied franchise like the Oakland A's, who, blue collar, people care about it. They just might not be able to afford to go to the games, but they watch it. They see it. They follow their team. And at the end of the day, just everything Manfred does, I just hate. It just,
I think that's what it comes down to for you. I
it's
think
icky.
you just love seeing somebody going at them, and you will praise
But yeah,
them.
Vegas
But
is
yes,
it would be the smallest market in baseball, right? Oakland is like the 12th or 13th size market. So what are we doing here? There's clearly something that is going on with baseball wanting to relocate and expand into that market with the surge of gambling and everything. Just make an expansion team. Call them the Aces. Have a good time with it. Whatever.
Yes.
It'll be. You don't need to move a franchise like that. And kind of funny. She actually was quoted saying, "Major League Baseball hasn't moved a franchise in 50 years. They put the Expos in Washington though." So she was kind of wrong there.
Yeah.
But
Well, she's a
I was.
politician trying to pander for votes. I think what's probably comes down to it.
Wow. But who knows? I really hope that something happens and they about face and Oakland's like, yeah, then they sell out every single.
That would be crazy. It would be I don't see it happen.
But expansion in
be
baseball,
crazy.
Vegas, Nashville. Let's do it.
Yeah. Keep the A's in Oakland and bring in two more teams. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think it'd be
More
pretty
job
solid.
opportunities, more talent in the league. I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's it. Let's go A's.
Love it. Thanks, bud. Always a pleasure. Thanks everyone for listening. Have a good one.